Hello, everybody. This is my world map of a part of my setting, and I wanted to show you guys my method of creating it. Because I personally kind of like the look, and I think it was easy to make relative to the amount of effort that I put into it. As you can see, this world map showcases like rivers, showcases mountains, it has texture on it, um, different biomes that you can see. And yeah, so the way I made it was first I went to Photoshop, and the first thing that I made was a height map. Now, the way I made this was literally just drawing with like on a black field with a brush that draws white. And then what I did was I grabbed the height map. I went into this what was it? Image adjustments, and then a gradient map, and then you can see it changes everything. But what I did is so this is the low end. This is what would normally be black on the grayscale height map. Made it a little blue, maybe a little bluer. There we go. And then the next part would be like yellow beaches, right? So yellow beaches, and then we add, and then the next thing would be like green grass. Look at that. And then part after that would be like rocky mountains. And then eventually you get snowy peaks. Let me remove this one. There we go. Snowy peaks. There you have your, let me get a bit more grass in here, so it's more the mountains that get stuff. Maybe a bit bigger beaches. Anyway, so you have that, and you do okay. And now your height map has turned into, a texture of your entire map. Now you can see that now everything is one biome. Everything has, water, then the beach, and then you have the grass, and then you have the rocky mountains with the snowy peaks. Right? Everything is one biome. But what you then do, which I did for all my biomes, I have here texture. Let me open up. I gave them masks. So my base layer is just the jungle. Like, so the entire texture is just this entire thing, but then with a different gradient for each biome. So the desert mesa has this gradient. So there's this dark outline that I first did. Then I had the kind of sandy deserts, some limestone or whatever. I don't really know what it was, but there's different colors for the gradient. And then I have this masks, and then I have like I can just paint over it, right? I expand the mask to draw the gradient. So I put the desert on it, and then I put the shrublands, the savanna, the grasslands, temperate forests, taiga. Over here we have tundras, and then the Fey woods. That's my own special biome. The ashlands, and then the Arctic, and then I also added water and rivers. This way you don't have to worry about colors. Well, besides when you make the gradient, but you don't have to worry about colors. All you have to do is just make the height map. You have to essentially draw it once, and then you just create masks. Now, so this is the texture, and then what I did was I pulled this texture and the height map both into Blender, and I gave it a bump map, and that is how you got this bumpiness on it with the shadows, right? Because if you look here, it's just blurry kind of. You don't really see anything, but then you look here, and there's like this texture, the shadows and stuff, and you can actually see the mountains kind of pop, and that's with the bump map. Now, what I also wanted to share was this is a different height map that I made just here in Blender, because I know that not everyone has Photoshop. Photoshop is expensive. Adobe kind of sucks, and I understand that. I mean, Blender is free, so everyone can just download Blender and use that. So what I did here was I made a height map, and then I made this in Blender. And then what I did was I put this height map. First, I went and put it into a bump map, and put the bump map into normal. And then this is the base color. And now you have, you know, the beautiful bumpiness. And then what I did was I put the height map into a color ramp. This is like the gradient ramp, right? And then let me first put that here, this base color here. So it would turn into this, and I can change this live, right? Change it. Woo. Change how much rocky terrain there is. Change the amount of beach, right? You can just change this live, or rather, like this is the base. This is like the jungle on my other thing. And then I have a mask, and I have this gradient color ramp, which is a different one. And I pull those both into it, and then I put that in here. And now, because of the mask, like this dark area will be purple, and the light area will be green. So this is how you do two biomes. And then I can change, once again, I can change this, right? And it only does the purple area, right? So I have that. And then, if I want to introduce a third one, what I do is I have this one go into another. So these are our color mix nodes. So I put that one in. I have another mask, which I put into the color mix node with the new color ramp, all of which are coming from the height map. And then I put that one in there. I put this one in here. And poof, I put all of them in. I have a brown area over here from this, right? So with another mask. And then I can of course, I can also change this, right? Now, this is a way to do it in Blender. It's not perfect, because as you can see here, where the edges are of these masks, you can see that it kind of changes the color of the water for some reason. There's like a gray line. I don't know why it does that. So it's not perfect. You know, the textures in the Blender also don't have the same features as Photoshop. So there are some sacrifices, but you can kind of simulate it. So, you know, I have the roughness all the way up, because otherwise it's going to look shiny, which if you want a shiny, you know, if you want things to be shiny, you could even put like another mask over it and have like some areas, maybe have the ice area be shiny and then the other areas not be shiny, but I normally just put the roughness all the way up. And then that is the shader. And then what I do is in the layout, I have the camera set up to where it's orthographic. And then I make sure that it like perfectly is on the square, which the square that is our thing with the texture on it. And I put it over there, and then I render with Eevee, and here we have our image, and then we save that image, and that is our map. And, you know, I think that this is simply like, what I like about this is you only have to draw the map once, and then you can just completely like tweak and change the biomes on it whenever you want. Let's say you're you have your world map. You only need the height map, and the height map doesn't change. But let's say you want your setting to go through an ice age. All you have to do is change the gradient on it to be more snowy, right? And then you suddenly have an ice age of your map instead of just your normal map. I think that's what I like about this. And I just wanted to share this and have a semi-bad tutorial about it. Look, I'm not an expert at Blender. I just know some things. I just wanted to share this with you guys. So maybe one of you guys will be able to make your own map like this. Because I haven't seen anyone else do it like this. Although I haven't looked. So maybe. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.